That's fine. I mean, take your time, Brian. We're in no rush. All I do is support you, Brian, and all I get is backlash.
That's true. You do get backlash from me. Okay, we got ourselves a podcast episode today. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. It's been a few weeks. I was kind of out of commission, one could say. I've been moving my way back to North America. I have been fired from Liquid Monkeys.
What?
I thought Monkeys was gonna be like, yeah, totally. Like, what happened? Like go along with it. Instead, he just believes it. But no, that didn't actually happen.
I thought not, but I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past you to this would be the way you tell me. Like, oh yeah, actually the real reason I'm back.
The real reason. Yeah, the grand surprise. No, I'm just here for the holidays, but it just turns out the way plans worked out that I'll be here for a couple months. So most of the year I'll
Hooray!
still be in EU. So all the EU viewers, if you're missing me right now, don't worry, I'll come back, baby. I'll come back. But for now, I'm in the same time zone as my boy Monkeys. So that's great.
I look forward to having you in my pubs. You
Yeah,
rank
I've
300
so
dinner.
far so good, Uh I've learned that if you just pick offlaners that kill people, the enemy literally rage quits by 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been doing. Most of my wins, I would say, are in the off lane playing Marcy or Spirit Breaker. And kill the carry twice. He goes jungle. You gank mid once. Game's over. Easy wins,
Yeah.
Monkeys. Is that similar impressions?
I mean, my strategy from the off lane is typically pick a hero that buys Vanguard or something and take the enemy safe lane and enemy mid tower by 10 to 12 minutes. And usually my team knows how to carry me from there. But, sometimes I have to put in a little extra effort and actually be like, "Hey guys, let's not play in our safe lane when the enemy jungle is completely open."
Of course, yes.
That would be a very fine adjustment to our play.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't miss about NA, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be my one critique, is that I'd say at least 1 out of 4 games here, one team gets ahead, and the game just ends.
Yep.
Literally nothing happens, and then nobody does anything. Both teams just farm, and then from the minute 12 to minute 25, it goes from a 1K gold lead to a 15K gold lead, and then you just lose.
Yep.
And I'm in these games when I'm the carry, I'm just so sad. I'm literally like, guys, I'm ready to make a move, guys. But in the off lane though, I feel pretty powerful. So I see where you're coming from. I'm the guy yelling at everybody to go play in their jungle.
Yeah.
That's worked out a lot better.
I mean, I've definitely talked about this before with you, but for the most part, if I'm not feeling good on my comms and feeling good about leading and shit, I try to just not play Dota because I feel like that is such a valuable strength of mine of just rallying the troops and being like, let's get them, baby. But when I don't bring that energy, I feel like I'm literally losing half of what makes me a good player.
Yeah, that's a really tough skill to develop. I think you're one of the few people I know that isn't toxic when trying to convey instructions to the team.
I try. I have my moments. I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect.
I'm just saying in general, I definitely struggle with not coming off the wrong way. I've been trying to work on it. Still a ways to go there, but I've noticed that I generally win more when I don't say anything because what that tells me is my overall impact of communication is negative. Whatever I'm saying makes the team less likely to win. So
well, I mean, that's not necessarily cause and effect though, right? That could definitely just be coincidental as well. It's very difficult to accurately judge your own communication and the effect it's having on your team because sometimes you just have teammates who A are already tilted going into the game, and like it's not necessarily like like it could literally be anyone, and they just like go down the rabbit hole because they're just already pre-tilted. But like they're I don't know. I feel it's very difficult to gauge like how your communication is actively affecting your team like all the time. Unless like that you're like being negative in some way, and like everyone is just like, ah, fuck, I give up.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes that's the case. Most
Yeah.
certainly, where I'm like, yeah, that probably didn't help,
Yeah.
or I shouldn't have said that.
But I mean, I feel like most Dota players experience that to some extent, right?
Not you, monkeys. Not you, my friend.
I don't know.
But yeah, no. So I honestly, communication is one of the few things I really want to work on. But I also feel like my issue with communication is I know Insania has said this before as well. Insania from Team Liquid, he says that like when you communicate in pubs, it makes it feel like you're much more invested in whether or not you win or lose.
Yes, that's very true. Very, very
Yeah,
true.
because you're like you're consciously putting effort into something. It's kind of like when you
Yeah.
tell a joke or when you dress up nice. It's really bad to look bad when you dress up nice. But like if I just show up in like sweatpants and a hoodie and somebody says you don't look very good or like you look sad or whatever, it's like, well, I didn't really try today, so that's fine. But it like,
Yeah.
if you dapper yourself up in like a nice suit and it just doesn't fit, you know, that looks really bad. And I compare
Yeah.
that to communication in Dota. It's like if I'm not communicating, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, nothing happens in the game, and we just lose, I can kind of move on with my life. But like if
Yep.
I'm trying my best, I'm like, guys, go here, smoke up, let's go, and I still lose. Feels really bad, man.
Yeah. Well, at least I wouldn't say like it's impossible to like shake those losses off. Like for me, I can communicate a lot. Like say I'm energetic enough to actually communicate and lead, and we still lose the game afterwards. I usually just self reflect after the lost game, and I'm like, all right, what call that or like what call did I make that ended poorly enough for us to like actually like I try to at least learn something from it when I'm making calls and lose, right? So that like kind of it doesn't tilt me as much because I'm like, all right, at least I kind of like got something from it, like because usually when I'm like in the mood to make calls, my team just blindly listens to me. Everyone turns off their brains. They're like, all right, Monkey said hit the T2 at 12 minutes. Let's do it. And I'm like, all right, in hindsight, that I need someone to reel me back there.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely sometimes need to be wrangled in a little bit. Maybe
I want my Dota games to be won as efficiently as possible, and but like that's just not the state Dota is in right now. You have to like ease your way into it. You got to woo the enemy team before you ask them to let you
yeah,
win.
you can't just ram it in there. You have to like take it slow and methodically before you penetrate the enemy defenses.
Yes, yes. Pristine choice of words, VSJ.
Thank you, thank you. As we continue to talk about only Dota, no references to anything else. Uh, you know, my question for you is, when do you think the patch is coming? Serious question here. You know,
I mean,
I
Valve
feel like
themselves
all
said
these
like,
pubs,
Va-
we talk about all this shit. Let me finish, monkeys. Don't
okay,
interrupt me here.
okay,
I,
sorry,
I,
sorry.
I have to give context to this question because otherwise it seems completely random. You play all these pubs, and it feels like people are frustrated, and it's kind of like when you go through No Nut November, and the stress is just gathering and gathering, and you notice towards the end that a lot of people are irritable. I feel like the same thing happens towards the end of like a long patch. Everyone in the games is just on edge. Nobody gives a shit, you know, and we're basically at the end of No Nut patch, my friend. And I don't know if you're feeling it too, but I need to know when you think it's coming, because I need some sort of copium right now.
Valve literally stated 2 to 3 weeks. Like what? A week ago?
Did they actually?
I think they specifically said, or maybe they said a few weeks, and I just interpreted that as 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know. Which is probably a mistake on my part because don't trust Valve on anything they say.
So if Valve said 2 to 3 weeks, then my guess is about mid-January. That sounds realistic.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I would say probably like early New Year. It would be my expectation. Anything before that would be a pleasant surprise, but I literally
What if they
zero
drop it on
expectations.
Christmas? What if Valve just doesn't take
That
vacation over Christmas time and they sacrifice all 20 employees that they have and give us the best Dota white Christmas you could ever have? It
that I
just
mean
snow in
that would
Dota.
be great. I don't think I'm doing anything this Christmas, so that I would just play Dota.
Okay, so what it actually explicitly said is that the battle pass will arrive
Oh, the battle pass, that was it.
in the next few weeks. So Monkeys has kind of given me hope, and now it's gone again. Thank you, Rubarzon, for
Well, I mean,
ripping the band-aid
are are,
off.
are we really expecting to go through another major like on this patch? I feel like we're not.
I really hope not. I really hope not.
I feel like logically speaking, we have to have something change sometime soon.
I agree.
But I mean, again, I always try to avoid talking about things like this because then people are like, "Wait, Monkey, you said you said there would be a new patch before the major. Why isn't that true?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't work for Valve. I can't I I don't know
That's one of
what
my
I'm
favorite
talking."
things to do to you, Monkeys, though, is to like blame you rather than.
I That's pretty much like a lot of people's favorite thing to do.
So the thing about this patch actually is somebody in chat is saying like, "What's even wrong with this patch? Why are you guys so upset?"
It's boring.
It's boring.
It's
Exactly.
overplayed.
It's
It's over figured
overplayed.
out.
It's honestly, I think the hero meta is pretty decent. Like, I don't mind the
I
options
I
that we
I
have.
literally never mind hero metas. I don't give a shit what heroes are meta. I play like so many different heroes. I want the concept of Dota to change. I want comeback mechanics to change. I want roaming supports to be like a viable again because there's a way to get experience outside of jungling and laning. I just want something different to happen. I don't know what it is, but we've been in the same concept of Dota for like 2 years now almost. It's
Yeah,
just so
it's
it's
pretty
so
much been
long.
since last TI. Yeah, yeah. I agree. It's I honestly think that other than like a small changes to heroes that they need to make based on like whatever they're doing to the game, like say they rework bounties, they need to rework alchemist or whatever. That's an example of what I mean.
Hmm.
I would prefer a patch that's like 90% just map changes, like map changes or numbers changes,
Yeah,
or like you said, anything that changes the optimal strategy of the game. Um,
because right now it's literally like no matter what hero changes happen, like the game plan is always the same pretty much right
yeah,
now.
yeah, it
Like
is.
there's no uniqueness, there's no trying shit out anymore. It's just all right, can we make this hero work in this weird role? Haha, we did it. Good job, team. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Somebody in my chat said they need to bring back Necrobooks, and if there's any mods available, please ban that guy because nobody likes you. Uh,
Jesus.
um, I'd say for the most part, patches usually live out their days snow freeze. He asked about, would you mind the patches being a month long? Like, was there a patch in the history of Dota that you wish was longer? I feel like for me, I'm always excited for a new patch. Um, what would you say, Monkeys? Is there ever a time where you regretted a new patch coming out, or like you wish they had
No,
waited?
I mean, there's definitely been patches where, like, halfway through the patch is, like, right when I hit my stride and I, like, figure out how to make my good heroes, like, really good, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I just want this patch to last forever because I know, like, exactly what I'm doing with everything and whatnot," but, like, there's still there's always a part of me, no matter how good I am at a patch, that I'm just like, just repeating the same motions over and over. Like it just gets boring after a while. And like part of what has kept Dota so interesting and exciting is the fact that it is ever evolving and ever changing. And like you do have to you have to be able to be adaptable, and like whenever a new patch drops, you have to be able to like understand kind of what direction you need to go in with the new patch and like how you can get there faster than everyone else, if that makes sense. And a lot of my excitement about Dota comes from or stems from that.
Yeah, I feel like one of the most stagnant things. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna ask you right now before I answer. You said you want like you don't know exactly what you want, but you know you want some changes in regards to these things. My question would be in terms of game mechanic, like you can choose literally anything, but not hero specific. What is the one thing you would change? Like right now, if you could just get it out of the game, what would it be?
Outposts.
Like
I don't.
remove them or rework
I
them?
I I think outposts are just a very boring objective. I don't think they matter enough to like they are like quote unquote an objective, but like like you're not really actively playing to like take an outpost or something like when you were playing against shrines, if you took the enemy shrine, that was a huge deal because they lost like a second life basically outside of the base, right? Every 5 minutes. But outposts are like you take an outpost, you deny them like a few hundred XP over 3 minutes, and then they take the outpost back, and like you kind of take a teleport target from the. I don't know. I feel like it's just I don't know. At least with shrines, like they had a noticeable impact on the game, in my opinion. Outposts don't necessarily have that for me, and I think there should be an objective that's not Roshan that has a very noticeable impact on the game because I think the game has just kind of gone to a stale state at this point.
Okay, so you actually just listed something instantly. So I want to say, I want to actually carry this conversation a little bit further because I think people like this kind of stuff and I enjoy it myself. So that was your number one, okay? I personally didn't expect outposts. That's not because I disagree with you. I just all your points were incredibly valid. I just never thought about how boring they are, I guess, because
Mhm.
they're just a part of the game. I agree that they kind of feel like a chore. It's like they're there, you have to do it, but nobody's excited to do it. And once you're done, you're like, well, I did what I had to do. Not like, yay, I did it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the thing about outposts was they used to be like every 10 minutes you'd get like a huge boost or every five or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
and you would have, like, a huge team fight around
Yeah,
Outposts every 5 or 10 minutes,
exactly.
there was a reason to do something, but
Yes,
now it's
yes.
just now it's just you take a tier 2 tower and you're like, "Oh, yeah, the outpost
I
exists."
gotta go
Like,
do that now.
yeah, gotta go get
Yeah.
it's just more things to do with, like, no actual, like, feeling of accomplishment. You're just like, "Oh, alright, I got their outpost, they're probably just gonna take it back in 30 seconds." Like
Yeah. So I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement that outposts definitely need to be drastically changed in some capacity. Um, my biggest one is regen sharing. Even though I'm a carry player,
Yeah, yeah,
I
salves,
think
salves, I think
I
need
think
to
we've gotten
somehow
to a
change.
point. I think we've gotten to a point where salves and tangos just can't be used on other people. Like I actually just I think that's where we're at. I think
Yeah,
that they need to add some other option, perhaps. Maybe a lot of like carry heroes get like a little extra HP regen, like one or two base or something, HP regen or just something like that to like compensate. But I feel like we're at the point where like the optimal way to play the game is for the cores to buy 600 gold of stat items and then like maybe with their first courier fly out a set of tangos and
mhm,
then the four position like rushes earn like the most broken four positions are the ones that rush earn like
yeah,
Weaver and the 5 position just is a salve slave,
Yeah.
basically. Um, and I feel like if I don't play that way, I lose the lane. And if I do play that way, I win the lane. And I think that's an incredibly shitty. It's a boring mechanic. First off, it's very similar to Outpost. I think it's very boring. And I
Yeah.
also think it's a very shitty way to have to rely on your teammates. Like, I think Dota's a team game, great. But, like, I actually just have to cross my fingers as a carry that my 5 buys 4 salves. Like, I just. Please
Yeah.
buy 4 salves. If he doesn't buy 4 salves, it's strictly worse than if he does. You know?
Mhm.
So that alone is just like it doesn't feel good to ask them for salves. It doesn't feel good to rely on them to buy salves. I don't want them to
Well,
have to buy salves, but it's like it's
yeah.
the best way to play the game. So
Yeah.
it just sucks.
It's I mean, it definitely wouldn't surprise me if we went in the direction. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be as extreme as just cut off all region sharing, but we've definitely been going in the direction with Dota for a while now to like make the position 5 a lot more free and able to like do what they want. They don't have to buy couriers, upgrade couriers, wards are free, sentries are individual purchases and only 50 gold a piece. Um, but the what was I gonna say? The sorry, sorry, I got distracted. Lost my train of thought. The Salves regen. Oh yeah, but then basically, obviously, if you give like position fives way more gold and like freedom to do with that gold what they please, then you just invest all of your gold into your carry to make sure your carry like is as strong as possible coming out of the laning phase. So there definitely has to be like a medium of supports do have more gold, but they need to use that gold on themselves. Which, as you said, it could just be make all regen for yourself, right? Like maybe the solution is that simple. I mean, again, that seems super extreme to me, but like as you said, that might just be the direction we're going in, right? Like because the meta right now is just absurd. It actually is. Like as an offlaner, I hate it because I literally will go through like a full HP carry to 200 HP 3 times, and they're just full HP again. And I'm like, how am I supposed to have items and deal with this shit?
The only good offlaners right now are the ones that can like chunk you for 300 damage without investing like a sizable amount of resources.
Yeah,
Like Mars, like even in pubs like Marcy, I've had like really good success with Marcy. It's just like I need to be able to make them salve the carry without having like no mana.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
I mean,
like
hell, that's
good
literally what makes like Batrider not very good in the offlane right now. Because like
because you all in
Batrider,
people and
yeah,
then
yeah,
they
yeah,
get
you
salve.
have to all in people, and like your Firefly is like a 50-second cooldown. So if you aren't getting a kill with like 7 napalm stacks on a Firefly, and then they just salve up to full, they have a magic stick to go to full health, full mana, then you're just sitting there with like half HP, no mana Batrider. You didn't get a kill, so you can't even buy more regen, and you're just like, oh well, this sucks. Now I'm just
It, yeah, the
now I just
heroes that
exist.
relied on like bullying them out of lane and then like controlling the area are just dead, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like Batrider fits that description. Venomancer kind of fits that description.
Mhm.
Um, like what else is there? I'm just like pulling up my hero tab. Uh, even heroes like. I mean, people have been picking a decent amount of Axe, but I still feel like he fits that description, and I haven't seen him too much. Um, yeah, I don't like Darkseer. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like you used to like force people. You'd vacuum them into ion shells, use like all your resources, and then they'd not be able to enter lane, and now they just get solved. Yeah, I mean, either way, that's my worst part of my meta. Oh, why are you black screen? Okay, we're good. I don't need to. I don't think we need to expand on this anymore. So my question would be, what's number two for you? Like, you came pretty instantly with number one. Is there something that
Uh,
jumps out to you, number two?
um, like something that is already in the game that I don't like.
Yes, like please just I never want to see this again or that kind of feeling. Or like I really don't like this. I hate when it's in my games.
I mean, see that there's not like I mean the outpost is the obvious one for me because typically there's only ever been one objective other than Roshan,
Yeah.
basically. And in my personal experience, the previous one other objectives were much cooler, like the 5-minute bounty runes or the shrines or whatever. Like I felt like they actually had umph to them, and Outposts just don't have that. So that's why that was like so obvious for me. Not like as an example, other like again maybe just like change comeback gold in general, just for shits and giggles, like, just for the hell of it. And I'm not saying, like, in one way or the other, but, like, just to shake things up, you know? Like, just change numbers for the sake of changing numbers, I would say would maybe be my second desire in a new patch
I'm
because
gonna give you a
it
way better answer than you did because you're giving a cop out answer. Okay, I'm gonna slam
Sure,
it down in your face right now.
sure.
My biggest issue, other than region, is high grounds. Can
Okay.
we somehow nerf high grounds?
I mean,
Like,
I will say tier 2 and tier 3 towers are, like, insanely strong. They are, like,
yeah,
absurdly strong.
it's a similar concept there. It's a similar concept. For me, it's like, man, we've had 2 years where people just camp high grounds. Like, that's all they do. Like, in actual good Dota, the optimal strategy is to advance yourself on the opponent's side of the map, pick a high ground, and stand there. That's like
Yeah.
actually the best way to play Dota right now. And I feel like I don't care if they add more high grounds. I don't care if they like add more routes. I don't care if they like rework certain high grounds or something. I think a big part of it's these wards that you have to camp. I feel like the high ground wards are actually a problem because they're such powerful wards that if you leave the area, people are going to instantly check. There's never a time where you leave the ward on the high ground and any decent support just leaves it there. Like it never gets left there by the opponent team. Um, so the ward itself is so powerful that you have to plant it a lot of the time. It's like, okay, I planted it, but then you also lose the ward if you ever leave it because it's a really obvious ward.
Yeah.
So I feel like the balancing of ward placement is like really bad right now. It's like so boring. Like it's the same thing as regen for me in the sense that like you have to do it. There's no optimal game to like warding here. These are the best wards. Like yes, there's times where people like try to get creative and like put them outside of sentry range to make sure it doesn't get caught or whatever. But I feel like half of team fights 30 minutes into the game is both 5 positions sentrying the cliff and like fighting to kill the ward. And whoever kills the ward wins the fight. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that this exact mechanic is like 30 to 40% of why Snapfire is like the best support in the game. Like I'm pretty sure the reason why teams are so happy to pick Snapfire is because she turns on that little shredder and it just goes ding ding and the ward's just gone. I'm pretty sure that alone is good enough to make a hero good, which I don't
To
know. It's just not fun.
Yeah, yeah. To add on to that, I suppose something that I miss from, I mean, I've been playing Dota for 18 years or something like probably going on 19 soon. Um, but something to add on to that is in Dota used to like actually be like such a unique map. Like there were just so many random like ramps leading to like different jungles and like there would literally be like single unit ramps that like you would have to run up and stuff, and they would just be like death traps and stuff half the time, but like the map used to like be very lively. I felt 'cause, like it was genuinely just every jungle was very unique, and like there was just it was just chaos basically, but I kind of liked that because I feel like now in Dota we just have like a super symmetrical map minus Roshan, which is just
I agree. It is
exists.
very symmetrical. It
Like
is
I
very
feel like I
symmetrical.
feel like every patch we've had that is map changes has just kind of been trying to basically make Radiant and Dire as even as possible, right? Because I'm sure Ice Rock doesn't innately want Radiant to have a 60% win rate in pubs and Dire to have a 40%, right? Like that's just not great game design. So Ice Rock's solution is to make the map as similar as
As
possible. So
balanced, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But in my opinion, I feel like the chaos kind of like it added so much flavor to Dota because like there was just having so many different jungles and like different areas to like claim and stuff and like you had a lot more unique tree juke spots and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was a lot clever or more clever in past patches the map state than current Dota, but at the same time I do understand why Ice Frog has kinda gone for the more symmetrical route. I just personally find it, again, slightly boring.
That out of all of them, I think that one's like probably the most controversial. I think like you have a good point. I think there's probably people out there that agree with you, but then I also think there's people that like I think that that one's partially subjective of which way
Yeah, yeah. No, again,
optimal.
I'm not saying it has to change or, like, I'm gonna hate Dota or anything. I'm just bringing it up as something that I definitely remember when I was younger, I would play Dota, and, like, it just felt a lot fresher because like, every jungle you entered was just a different
Not everyone thinks
idea,
the way you do,
basically.
monkeys. Just chill, man.
I
Not
that
it's you're not the
that's
center of the universe, all right?
okay, my bad.
Who are you, Galileo
I
or
thought I
whoever
thought
did
this
that
was
shit?
the Banana Slam Jaren podcast, but,
That's true. I am slamming Jaren during this podcast. I'm just trying to role play. No, I'm just messing. Obviously, you know, I think Dota in a lot of ways has come a long ways with regards to balance, and I think some of that is uniformity across the board in a lot of ways. Whether that's like giving heroes a farming mechanic, making both sides kind of symmetrical. I think these ideas are helpful, but if you're gonna make a lot of heroes have similar parts of their kit, like just like overlapping portions of their kit, then you also need to make them. You need to choose. You need to break somewhere. You need to bend, not break somewhere. Like something needs to be, like you said, pizzazz. Something,
yes.
a little bit out there. I think to really hold on to the Dota
Otherwise, we're just gonna
spirit.
turn into League, man. League just
Yeah.
does the same shit every game for, like, 20 minutes, and you just have a clear victor by, like, 15. Like, I don't know. I don't wanna go that route. I want there to be, like, the OG comebacks of TI8 or, like, I don't know. I just want crazy shit. It's Dota. This is what we play the game for.
One thing I noticed, somebody mentioned lanes. Have you ever watched a game in the last like 6 months? Recently, in the last like 6 months or so, have you watched a game from like 7 years ago,
Uh,
or like a
I
really
mean,
long time ago?
I've seen, like, clips here and there, but I can't say I've watched,
Do
like, a
you
full
realize how wide the lanes were like seven
I
years
I
ago?
I I think I vaguely remember that. I do
You need
vaguely
to pull
remember the
up a
lanes
replay,
being
okay? Like just pull up a game from 7 years ago and watch a side lane for the laning
yeah.
stage. Okay, like over the period of like 7 years, they've straight up like cut the lane size in like a third. Like it's actually
Oh,
a
really?
third of. Dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I was the reason why I remember this is because I was watching like Zai. I was hanging out with Zai at the Liquid facility, and he was like, somebody asked him a question, and then it randomly prompted him to like watch one of his EG games from TI4 or something,
Uh-huh.
and we were just watching the lanes, and the lane was just straight up like 3 times the size, and I was like, what the fuck? The tower looked like it didn't eat, like, you know how right now the tower encompasses like the entire area of the lane plus some, like in
Yeah.
terms of like the tree. It's like it used to be that the tower was like half of the lane. I was like, what the fuck?
I
Like I can't believe
I
this.
also I also remember when the middle tier 1 Dire tower, it was placed on the bottom side or the right side of the middle lane, so you couldn't run through the lane above the river. Otherwise, you would get attacked by the tower.
Oh
So
yeah, I
so
remember
so you
that.
literally but on Radiant, you could run through you
It
could
was
run
very
through the lane
difficult
on
to
either
invade
side.
Dyer's mid lane in that one
Yeah,
patch.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, see, small things like that is exactly what I'm talking about, BSJ. Like, I loved that, like, Dyer had this, like, really niche advantage for the mid lane because, like, mid players would literally just play top left side, and just like avoid all like rap gangs from that side and like place one good ward for themselves, and they would just be happy, right? But my point being is like I feel like there's not enough of random small details like that in Dota anymore because they've just all been patched out of it. Like fountain hooking in TI2, that was patched. All of the unique things are like not to say Dota isn't unique. I mean, obviously, but I like the small details when it comes to Dota personally.
Do you remember that one patch where mid lane had an extra creep?
I do remember that.
I
That was
thought
so dumb.
the mid laners would straight up be like level 10 and the carry would be like level 5 at like 9 minutes into the game or
I
something.
remember talking to like three mid laners after that patch. And all of them were like, "Yeah, I don't know why, why Ice Frog decided to just gift us another creep, but I'm not complaining."
Yeah,
Like, you
that shit
literally
was.
couldn't have a bad lane in the mid lane because you would just get so much XP no matter what.
Yeah, the two strongest heroes in the game were always the two mid laners. Like no
Yeah.
matter what happened, like you would be the strongest heroes in the game. Yeah, that kind of shit is always funny to look back on. That like whoever thought of that? Like that guy's clearly not working at Valve anymore. But yeah, no, we talk about the patch. We've been talking about a lot of complaints, but you know, there has to be something good right now, monkeys. So like, what do you like about this patch? Is there anything? Do you like this patch?
Brewmaster?
So you like having fun on the hero you enjoy playing.
Yeah.
Why?
That's where I'm at.
But if I say what do you like about this patch, that's not is that like specific to this patch? Like will he not be
No,
fun
no,
next
that
patch?
no, that's just Brewmaster. I mean, well, that's kind of what I mean about that. Like, I guess if I have to compliment this patch, I do think it's very good at like you will be having or if you're trying to play proper Dota, this patch definitely like makes teams fight. Which I like that Dota. I like fighting. I like having like these scraps because like for the most part, the ideal way to play is both carries are farming until their item timings, and the other four heroes are typically like scrapping or whatever, unless you have like some random anomaly like a Furion or something. But then that's a entire playstyle change just because of the concept of Furion. But like I do think this patch is geared towards setting up fights and making fights happen, which I much prefer that style of patch rather than patches where it's like, all right, we have three cores, off laners farming, carries farming, mids farming. All right, we hit two items on all of our cores. Let's go. We win. It,
Yeah, this patch is definitely much better in the forcing people to want to fight category.
yeah,
Um yeah, I mean I personally like patches that are like that better too. I used to be more on the farm heavy meta. Like I used to like that more, but yes, as over time I feel like farming is just repetitive, so eventually it gets really boring.
yeah.
I feel like there's some threshold of hours spent on Dota where you are inevitably going to like fighting patches more than you like farming because
Well,
there's
because
just
because fighting is just always unique, right?
yeah,
Like
there's so
it's
much
always going to
dynamic.
be a new experience.
Yes, I totally agree with that. No, it's exactly how I've started to feel. I was gonna say something, but I was too busy staring at you, monkeys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I find myself staring at me too quite often.
Yeah, it's a weakness of your essence. But no, I do think. What was I just take it away, monkeys. See, what do you have in the notes for the for the for the
Why?
for the podcast?
I don't have any notes because Jay, you're the one with the notes. We agreed on.
Fuck. Okay, let me. I think my notebook's in my other desk. I did get a new desk. We
Oh,
have
did you?
a new desk. Yeah.
Do you like
Collie
it more?
Collie elected to get an upgrade here because she's gonna use it sometimes too. It's a standing desk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can
I
raise
I've
it to.
I kind of want to get one of those, but at the same time, I definitely would never play Dota standing. I don't think.
What? I need to ask her what's going on with this. Oh, okay. We got it. So I'm gonna stand up now, monkeys. Don't.
Oh my god. BSJ, don't BSJ, no!
No,
No!
I'm sinking. Okay, I'm back. We're back, guys. Don't worry, we're back. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see.
Nice,
You can
nice.
see that I can see you. What do you
Oh,
mean?
I was busy tapped out of our thing. Don't worry. But no, yeah, so I got a nice standing desk. I figured maybe it would be good for replay analysis to be standing. I feel like I can get like a more yell going,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
more pizzazz.
You can do who was it? Cap, who like sprayed Blitz with the water bottle when he was casting.
Oh, yes, that would be good.
You can get the arm motions and the hype going.
I actually needed to move my legs around, so this is good. This is really good that I did this. I'm gonna have more pizzazz. Gonna throw some water at people when I do coaching sessions.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. The reason why I needed to pause was because we do have some sponsors for today, which is awesome for us because that means we get to buy our family some Christmas presents. Am I right, monkeys?
Hooray!
Hooray! Yeah. Monkeys. I actually don't think I've ever been on stream and been that excited about a sponsor. So I like to give credit where it's due and say that that hooray was. I would have believed you, like if I just walked into the room and heard the hooray. I'd be like, wow, he actually had something really good happen in his life. Uh, but with all that said, I will say that today's podcast, guys, is brought to you guys by our sponsor OKEX, your one-stop cryptocurrency platform that's powering like the play to earn games. And today's especially is Axie Infinity. We've actually seen a few Dota personalities move over to that game, such as
Brax is
like
one of them, right?
Theban Brax is playing it.
Yeah,
Theban
yeah.
being 1437. Also, Zyori has been dealing with it a lot as well.
Mm.
He's more so on like the content side of it. But play to earn games are ones that allow you to earn NFTs in game. And Axie Infinity is the most popular play to earn game out of them all. So basically, it allows you to earn real money or fake or online money that can be sold for real money by playing games. So definitely is an interesting thing, interesting concept. I'm honored to be here with Monkeys, partnered with Axie, and you can type exclamation point Axie in chat, AXIE, or if you're watching from the YouTube channel, you can check out the link in the description. You can sign up today if you guys are interested in that at all. And on top of that, while we're chilling out, or mentioning things that are not authentic discussion here, we got our real interactive discussion, AMA, that was originally meant to be earlier this year, but we decided to postpone it just because of travel things going on with myself and all that. So we'll be January 22nd. I will be posting a link in the description of the YouTube video as well as in chat in just a bit. So if you guys are interested in joining us for an interactive AMA session, or we'll be talking to you guys live and all that kind of fun stuff, that'll be happening on the 22nd of January. So there's going to be some tickets purchasable for you guys if you are interested.
Oh baby.
Oh baby. The thing is, monkeys, is that I'm stuck talking to you once a week, and I can't imagine somebody actually paying money to talk to you. How do you feel about that concept?
Yeah, I'm with you. I I got nothing.
That was Monkey's chance to like really chill, like really bring home the sellout vibes and give you guys a reason that he believes is worth paying money to come hang out with us. And his response is more like, "What the fuck? Are we trying to rip people off or what?" But I respect it, monkeys. I respect it. Yeah. This is a great point. D2 Master in chat says job interview. Monkeys, why should we hire you? Monkeys. I don't know. Fuck. I've been playing Dota for a decade. I got no real life skills.
Probably would be my response.
Don't worry.
What can you offer us, monkeys forever? What beats me, man? Good luck.
There was one of my final thoughts was back in high school. We did for my math class. My teacher was like a 75-year-old guy that just loved math articles. Like he just loved like news articles or like magazine articles that were
Hmm.
about math. Okay,
That is
so
such a specific like
yes,
interest.
so he every week we had to like read an article and write like a page summary on this article. And let me tell you, after like having the same teacher for 3 out of 4 years of high school, because he taught like all the calculus classes and stuff,
Uh-huh.
you run out of interesting things to say about math articles. Okay, like eventually you run out. So the whole idea eventually became, because all the same people were having the same teacher, was that all this article was just a page of us bullshitting like about whatever we were supposed to be reading. So what I'm getting at here is that I took 3 years of math that I had to bullshit through something once a week, and I think that that skill has carried me a long ways in certain things in real life. And I think that you, if you're going to go out in the job world, you're going to need to really embrace yourself and grow in regards to that skill, monkeys, because
I mean, yeah,
there's
you're
definitely
probably not
some
wrong.
way that you could twist and mold whatever limited life skills that you have
Whatever limited
to being an attractive
to being
interviewee.
a competent functioning adult.
Not gonna lie to you, man. Standing has given me a lot more energy. I was underestimating the power of the standing desk, but like the
Yeah,
fact
dude,
that
I think I honestly think they're a great investment. Again, I don't think I would do it like while playing Dota because that sounds difficult to me. But
can you see me
yeah,
like squatting? Can you see that I am
yeah,
squatting?
I can see
Nice,
I
nice.
can see you
Yeah, I definitely was feeling a bit lethargic sitting down because today's one of those days where I had to sit down extra because I had to like take care of international payments. One of the fun parts of living half and half or whatever. Um, and apparently, just no U.S. banks are happy for you to wire transfer euros to like a random country in Europe. They just think that that's obviously not.
they're not too pleased with that one.
They're not exactly encouraging about it. So they don't make it easy. So
Hmm.
that's been my last few days. But on that note, monkeys, we have about hit the hour mark. So, this is all I'm contractually obligated to talk to you. There's no way in
Yeah,
hell I'm
that's
gonna
true.
do
I
more.
definitely have never spoken to you outside of this podcast in
Yes,
my
not a
life, so
single time. So that's not in the contract. So, with that said, we did take a couple weeks off, guys, for the podcast, but we will be back throughout the holiday break. Um, so we will be keeping you guys posted on like all the new patches or battle passes or nothing new at all, and we just have to bullshit you guys due to contract. Whatever actually happened. So, any last words, monkeys?
no, not really. Just appreciate you guys that watch us. Not BSJ though. That guy's a piece of shit.
And on that note, say goodbye, guys. This is Monkey's last episode of the podcast.
It
Thanks.
was fun while I was here.
He got his good old fuck you to the contractors before he had to go. So see you later, monkeys. Love you, buddy.
Bye
See ya.
bye.
I mean, fuck you. See you.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah, sorry.
Monkeys forever.